I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you're my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you're my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get set for qualifying for the Duracell Ultra Lite Series to kick off our race weekend from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. 29 drivers going to be setting the starting lineup for tomorrow night's Winston 120, first short track race of the season, first short track weekend overall. We'll see the Cup drivers on track for qualifying tomorrow evening. It's the Lights drivers here tonight, and first time the Lights drivers will take you to this racetrack. 15 minutes will begin now. Drivers can go out and try and set the fastest lap. Now, the thing about this particular short track, as to most of the other short tracks will be at this season, this one, at least historically, has not always been about starting track position. We have seen drivers be able to work their way up through the field and eventually take the checkered flag. We'll have to see if that holds true here this weekend, but for those drivers that may end up coming into this race high in the point stands that don't get the benefit of a good qualifying starting spot, all hope is not lost. They're not just going to ride, hopefully, at the back. We will see them methodically work their way up through the field and maybe be in the conversation for the checkered flag when all is said and done. Speaking of checkered flag, first driver out on track is the driver that's formerly taken a checkered flag this season. It's our Las Vegas winner, Michael Turner, out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Turner coming into this race 7th in overall points. That is the final points paying position. That would count towards a playoff spot. Gained 2 spots in the standings after last week's race at Phoenix. 3 top 5s in the first 5 races for Michael Turner as well. So his numbers have been very, very good. Add the victory at Vegas into that equation. As we're waiting for Michael Turner to cross the line and turn the first official lap. He just ran a 21.211. That was a warm-up lap. We'll see what his complete up-to-speed lap is going to be, and it will be a 21.098, setting the bar for the other 28 drivers. We'll now bring the ticker up and the time limit with 13 minutes remaining. You'll see the speeds scrolling across the top of your screen, as already Michael Turner has dropped to 3rd fastest on the board. 71 of Aubrey Powell. Aubrey had a tough race last week at Phoenix, dropped 7 spots in the standings, was 5th going into that race, and enters into this weekend's festivities now 12th in points. Aubrey, of course, a former winner at Pocono a couple of weeks ago, but pretty much a lot of the points and positions she gained after that Pocono victory, she pretty much gave back at the conclusion of last week's Phoenix race. Right now, 15th on the board for one of our 5 former winners on the season. Sean Galligan behind the 71. Galligan coming into this one currently situated in the 21st position in points, only 1 top 10 that being a top 5 as well so far in the first 5 races. The other cars out of Garage 55 been doing really well. Sean had that top 5 back at Daytona and has not had a top 10 since then, trying to get back into the mojo here. Right now, though, 21st fastest on the board at a 21.034. Brody Kupski, another driver that is trying to get his season going, as he's yet to score a top 10 so far this season. 24th in overall points. It's, at least in the early going, been a bit of a down year for all the Adrenaline Motorsports drivers. Brody Kupski, as mentioned, 24th in points. His teammate Dave Smith has a pole, but he's only one position higher in the standings at 23rd. Also has not yet scored a top 10. I believe of our full-time drivers, 5 drivers have not scored a top 10 yet in the first 5 races. The 2 aforementioned, Smith and Kupski, also Wes McCoy, Cat Batson, and Cody Majoric. But Majoric ended up having a great run last week, a top 10, or just outside top 10 run. I think it was 11th or 12th, where he finished at Phoenix. Another of our former winners right there, our winner from Manassas, Cole Koibe. Koibe right now finds himself situated 11th in the point standings. Had a great run last week at Phoenix, gained 3 spots. A lot of drivers going into that Phoenix race, former winners, were vying for wild card positions, but Aubrey Powell dropping out of the top 10. Michael Turner moving into the top 10 to the top 7. Cole Koibe just on the outside of the top 10 looking in. And there's another of our former winners right there, Skylar Taylor, who won at Daytona. Skylar coming to this one 7 points out of the points lead and a tie for 3rd with former points leader Cam Wright Jr. And of course had that win at Daytona to open up the season. Eli Bright right now 7th on the board. Eli had a great qualifying effort last week at Phoenix, but it did not translate into a good finishing result. Subsequently, Eli Bright ended up finishing out 19th in the point standings. Looking to bounce back here. Skylar Taylor heads for pit road. Skylar right now is 2nd fastest at North Wilkesboro. Nathan Fogler right now at the top of the board at a 20.650. Taylor just 7 thousandths off. There's last week's pole sitter, Jackson Haywood. Haywood coming into this one 10th in the point standings, dropped 3 spots in points after last week. Right now 12th for the driver of the 93, Jordan Anderson, 14th in points, 2 top 10s on the year so far. Right now he is down near the bottom of the running order in terms of fastest lap. He is 27th right now at a 20.897. And I believe we have 3 Cup drivers that are taking part in the Winston 120 tomorrow night. One of them, Reggie Fogelman, out of the Trackhouse Racing Stables. Reggie going to be making his 4th start on the season. Of course, not running for points, running for experience. We'll see him tomorrow night in pole day qualifying for the Cup Series drivers, and then on Sunday night for the Tyson 160. So just getting that extra track time. There's the fastest car on track right now, Nathan Fogler. Fogler looking for his first pole of the season. I'd have to look back and see. I don't have the statistics right in front of me right now. I'd have to see if Nathan Fogler was a former pole sitter from last year or not. If not, this would be his first pole of his Duracell Ultra Lite Series career. Cat Batson just ahead of him in the 39. Right now was 11th, just dropped to 12th. On the board at a 20.739. We mentioned Cat, one of 5 drivers yet to score a top 10 this season of the full-time Lights drivers. And last week was a good day, bad day for Southern Cross Motorsports. Good day in the fact David Dixon picked up his first win of the season and 4th of his Light Series career. Bad day in the fact that Cam Wright Jr. came in as the points leader. Did not get the run that he was looking for. Dropped 2 spots in the standings, now 7 points out of the points lead. And the points lead now belongs to this driver, Kyle Langland. Langland with 4 top 10s in the first 5 races. Very consistent to start out the year. He's still searching for that checkered flag here in Season 2. And a good qualifying effort so far going on as he is fourth on the board at a 20.693. Driver outside of David Dixon that maybe made the biggest gains in the point standings last week was Mike Tellier. Tellier spent a good portion of the Phoenix race out in front, finished out the day solidly inside of the top 10. I think he actually finished inside of the top 5 and gained 6 spots in the standings, now 15th in overall points. Right now, 17th fastest for the number 17 car. He will have his team owner RJ Bishop in the field here this weekend. I mentioned about Reggie Fogelman, Cup driver that's going to be taking part, and Nick Gunther is the third Cup driver that will be in the field tomorrow evening. As we look at Roberto Crown Jr., he dropped a few spots in standings last week from 3rd to 6th. Right now, 9th on the board, though, for him. He was one of a few of the Trackhouse racing cars. Looked really good in the early going at Phoenix and then fell off the longer the race went on. Autumn Brooks, we know that we'll be seeing her in the Cup Series race along with Bryce Egan. Only 42 drivers showing up for the Cup race here this weekend. Autumn Brooks coming in with some momentum. Solid outing last week in the desert. Jumped up 2 spots to 16th in points. Right now, though, looking for a little bit more speed in qualifying. 22nd on the board for the Ghost Mazda. Dave Smith right now 23rd on the board. That's where he is in the point standings as well. Still searching for his first top 10 on the year. Former pole sitter this season. Looking for some more speed in that car. That was, I believe, Colin Grace we saw there on pit road. I see Chris Dollerton and Skylar Taylor also on the pit lane. Nothing has changed as far as the top of the board. Still Nathan Fogler at the 20.650. Juan Garcia, another former pole sitter on the season. Really has been free falling through the point standings, though. Lost 7 spots last week, dropped from 6th to 13th. He's 7th on the board right now, so a top 10 starting position currently en route for the Jack Daniels Toyota. And there is Nick Gunther. Nick Gunther going to be making his second start of the season here in the Lite Series. His first start, he qualified 25th, finished 24th. Right now, 5th place starting position in line for the Mimniq 787B Celsius Mazda. We've seen Anthony McCurry in that ride last couple of weeks, and he's had some pretty good performances in that machine. Wes McCoy, another of those drivers looking for a top 10 run, dropped 5 spots in the standings after last week. Really didn't qualify well, didn't run well at Phoenix. That's pretty much the long and the short of it. Wes trying to get something turned around, but he's currently last on the speed charts here as well. It has not been a good start to the season for the driver out of Haas Racing. 6th place right now for Craig Batson. Getting ready to make his 3rd start on the year. Already has scored a top 10 in the limited number of races he's taken part in. Been really strong here for KB Racing Enterprises since making his appearance. And right now, just outside the top 5. Colin Grace, 20th on the board right now. Colin coming into this race 8th in the standings. Gained 4 spots in points last week. Had a great run at Phoenix. Right now, not looking like it's going to be that great of a qualifying effort as we've only got a little more than 3 minutes left on the clock. There's RJ Bishop making, I think this is his 3rd straight start in the Lite Series. We saw him at Pocono, we saw him at Phoenix, which of course was his home track, and now we're going to see him tomorrow night at North Wilkesboro. RJ right now 17th on the board in the 16 car. Colin Grace coming back to pit road. There's Ralph Mason, 27th place right now at a 20.885. There's only 0.3 of a second separating first through last on the speed charts right now. It is super, super close. Ralph Mason coming into this one currently situated in the 9th position in points. He lost a spot after last week's race at Phoenix. 3 top 10s in the first 5 races, though. So he's had a pretty good start to his year. Nathan Stapleton gained 5 spots in the standings last week from 10th up to 5th. He has also scored 3 top 10s in the first 5 races, 2 finishes inside of the top 5. Good consistent year so far, but trying to find victory lane as he gets taken 3 wide by Brody Kupski and last week's winner David Dixon. Dixon, though, right now 26th on the speed charts. So it doesn't look like he'll have good starting track position tomorrow night. But after his victory last week, Dixon jumped up 9 spots in the standings. He's only 5 points out of the points lead currently held by Kyle Langland. And with that victory, he then broke the tie between himself and Skylar Taylor for most wins career-wise in the Duracell Ultra Lite Series. They were both tied with 3 after Taylor's win at Daytona. Dixon now with 4 career wins back at the top of that statistic pile-on by himself. See if we can find some other drivers that are up there in the top 10 that we haven't discussed. One in particular that I'm looking for. And maybe we already talked about them. Well, I guess we have. I was looking for Cam Wright Jr. Actually, no, we did talk about Cam, didn't we? Right now, Cody Majorek is just outside of the front row, 3rd place at a 20.669. Majorek 17th in points. Highest driver in the standings that does not have a top 10 finish, but again, as I kind of alluded to, he has had some finishes just outside of the top 10 between 11th and 15th, and that's why he is up as high as he is in the points, ahead of other drivers that have scored a top 10 like Chris Dallerton, Eli Bright, Sean Galligan, and the driver currently focused on, Nathan Fogler. Fogler so far this season with an average starting position of 13th, average finishing position of around 17th. The average starting position will get better, as right now he is in line to start tomorrow night's Winston 120 from the pole. And as the session is starting to wind down, let's just show you what's happening around the turn. We got the North Wilkesboro qualifying for the Cup Series drivers tomorrow at 5. They'll be followed by the Duracell Ultra Lite Series drivers at 7. With the Winston 120, and then on Sunday night at 7 p.m., the Tyson 160 for the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series drivers, all nighttime racing this weekend from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Zeros on the clock, and Nathan Fogler's time got beat at the buzzer. Who was it that got it? We're waiting for timing and scoring to tell us. It was Autumn Brooks at a 20.607. Literally at the last few seconds remaining, what was only a 7,000th of a second advantage of Fogler over Taylor, Autumn Brooks by almost nearly 5 hundredths is going to top that, and just like that, Toyota is going to get bested. It was going to be a Toyota Mazda front row with Toyota on the inside and Mazda on the outside. The difference is going to be now it will be a Mazda on the inside and a Toyota on the outside. What a snipe shot by Autumn Brooks. And she will be the one that will lead us to green tomorrow evening. Fogler, who was looking like almost the entirety of the session was going to be the pole sitter, he's going to get relegated to the outside of the front row. Still a great starting track position for him, but will not get that one in the pole column statistically. Skylar Taylor and Cody Majorek, they're going to make up row number 2. Majorek will be the highest starting Chevrolet. Cam Wright Jr. and Kyle Langland in row number 3. Langland will be the highest starting Ford. Then Nick Gunther, Craig Batson, Juan Garcia, and Michael Turner, who was the first driver out on track here for this session, are going to be your top 10. You can see the rest of the drivers where they're going to line up for tomorrow evening's festivities. David Dixon going to start pretty deep in the field after his victory last week. 26th is where the 4-time career winner will be starting. Some other drivers that are pretty high up there in the points going to be starting pretty deep in the field there. Nathan Stapleton, who's top 5 in points, going to be starting outside of the top 20. We talked about Aubrey Powell dropping out of the top 10 in points after last week. She's going to be back in the 22nd position. So it will be interesting to see if what I said at the top of the night holds true. This has not been historically a track where track position is absolutely key. Drivers can work their way through the field from mid-pack, rear of the field to win the race. Case in point, we had 42 cars on track a couple of seasons ago in the Cup Series race here. Daniel Voyle started last. He ended up taking the checkered flag. We've got 29 drivers that are taking the green flag here tomorrow night for the Lite Series. So it is possible if history holds true. But congratulations to Autumn Brooks on a last-minute, literal buzzer-beater lap time to capture her first career pole here at North Wilkesboro. And we will see if it translates maybe into a checkered flag within the next 24 hours. We hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session here from North Wilkesboro. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. We showed you what your lineup's going to look like for tomorrow night's Winston 120. That green flag will fly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 5 o'clock, just prior to that, Cup drivers get ready for their qualifying session here for North Wilkesboro. And until then, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV. Offline racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.